2 blocks. So the first block is going to stand like the tallest height and middle width rather than the skinny way. It's going to be wider, so tall and wide, and about 4 inches away from the wall. And then the second block is going to go the kind of middle height and the skinny way, and it's going to stack on top. Again, first block is about 4 inches away from the wall, right? So there's room for hand. Okay, so the lower block, right, the action with the arms is pressing the palms together or pressing the palms into the block. So go ahead and just try that without the block and just feel it in your body. So just even sitting there and doing it. So as you squeeze the palm in, you feel how it engages kind of the inner arm and the shoulder. Good. And then as I press the outer hand into the floor, as I push down, right, squeeze in and push down, it should help keep the shoulder blade up on the ribs, right? Because we're going to be upside down. So rather than the shoulder blades coming towards the ears, the shoulder blades will be behind the heart, behind the lungs. Okay, so on hands and knees, palms squeeze the block, outer hand pushes into the floor, right? It's like almost like I'm trying to karate chop the floor. Top of the head on the floor, close to the block. Not pushing back into the block, but more pressing the crown of the head straight down. But can you anchor more weight into your outer hands and your elbows? So push feet down, forearms, wrists, elbows down, pick the knees up, walk the feet in until you feel your upper back on the block. Good. And then with your knees bent, walk your feet in a little more, right? So you feel your pelvis come up on top of your head. Good. And again, with that slight bend in the knees, think about pressing the outer wrist down to pick up those shoulder blades. And as the shoulder blades lift, can you lift the outer hips and the sitting bones? Good. Can you lengthen almost the inseams of the legs, right? So as the inner heels lift higher, try to pull the inner thighs up. Good. Let's walk the feet maybe all the way together. Again, fists or outer fists, outer wrist down. Let's take that right leg and stretch it forward to the wall in front of you where your eyes can see it, and then up towards the ceiling. So as the right leg lifts, it'll help you lift some of the weight up. You can pull the pelvis up, pull the weight of the torso up, outer wrist down, forearms down, elbows down. Right leg comes back to meet the left leg. Push strongly into the right foot on the floor and swing that left leg forward to the wall that you can see and up. Keep pulling that left leg up. Outer hips up, left thigh up, outer wrist down. Good. And then left leg comes down, both knees down. Child's pose just for a breath. Stack your hands, forehead on your hands. Good, and then come on to hands and knees. And let's come up into downward facing dog, just to let the head hang can just move the head around gently, making a circle with the top of the head. That is, if you were shooting the laser beam out of the crown of your head, making a circle on the floor or between the hands. Last breath. Good, knees to the floor. Sit back on your heels. Okay, so now let's take our two blocks. And I'm going to put them on the lowest height, kind of end to end, and about 4 inches away from the wall. And then I'm going to grab my blanket and put that on top of the blocks. So I've made a bolster. Okay, and then I'm going to sit. So I'm going to sit on the shape. Again, the shape is about 3 or 4 inches away from the wall. It helps if there's a little distance away from the wall. Good, and then I'm going to sit. So right now my left hip is on the bolster, my right hip is at the wall. Doesn't matter which side you do, but the butt that's on the surface, right, try to scoot it closer to the wall so the hip that's on the wall lifts a little. And then I'm going to tuck one shoulder down, same shoulder as on the block, and then roll the knees up to the ceiling. Align my shoulders and my hips. The buttocks will be close to the wall. They don't have to touch. You just want to find the shape that feels appropriate for your back, that the back bend is in the right place for your back. And then 2 straight legs up the wall. Again, you can always move the height further down under the pelvis or higher up away from the sitting bones. You want the pelvis to feel supported and the legs to feel supported. Let's take the arms out to the side. Right, so the pelvis is over the ribs are slightly above the head, legs up. Right, so we're just reversing our alignment with gravity. Right, we're just turning ourselves upside down. The legs are soft and softening. Right, just allowing for the fluids in the legs to settle back towards the heart, blood, lymph. Right, the weight of the organs. Right, we're just changing how all the relationships and pressures that the organs have on each other. Blood flow to the head, from the heart, blood flow from the rest of the body back to the heart. Breath nice and easy. If you have the room, take the legs wide. And if you don't have the room, take the legs wide, bend, right? So you come into a wide squat. So your toes are turned out towards the side of the room. Your knees are able to fall open. All right, gravity's drawing the legs wide and to the floor. The breath has helped settling the sitting bones towards the bolster. And breath is deep. Again, finding the pelvic floor with the breath. Trying to soften. And as you do so, how does that affect your breath in your throat and your jaw? And then walk the feet together, knees together, 2 straight legs again. Good, and really simple, right? Just simple. It's not always the easiest, but it's just nice to change the leg variation. So just crossing the shins, right? As if you were sitting cross-legged on your own wall. Right, walking the feet out, right foot to the left foot to the right, shins are crossed. Your feet can be closer to your buttocks or further away. Right, whatever helps you just relax the legs the tiniest amount. Good, and then change the cross of the legs. Again, just trying to find a place where the legs settle. Noticing your breath, your jaw, your face. Noticing the shoulders, are they able to settle into the floor? Are the shoulder blades able to widen and the chest able to soften? The back of the neck get quiet. And then re-straighten the legs. Good, and then let's just bend your knees, put your feet on the wall, and just scoot your body away from the wall. And let your hips come to the floor, and your feet come onto the bolster shape. And then take your knees apart and feet still together. Your hands can be on your ribs or your belly or out to the side, whatever feels most calming on your upper back and shoulders. Good. And then slowly draw the knees together and scoot further out away from the wall. So you can either let your feet rest on the kind of up on the bolster and against the wall, or you can slide the shape under your knees. Finding a place for your arms. Softening in your upper back and shoulders, your middle back, your lower back, your legs, your feet. Just feeling as the legs settle, as the inseams of the legs settle on the pelvic floor and the breath. Just feel your jaw soften, your chest soften. Feeling how the head sinks back into the floor. Just watching the rise and the fall of your belly. Or feeling the movement in the belly, that kind of swelling and settling. And feeling it in the belly and the chest, maybe out into the limbs. And just slowly let your breath lengthen. And your exhale lengthen. Let's inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax the breath. Little movement in your fingers and your toes, in your arms and legs. And gently roll to your side. Good. Letting your head be the last thing that comes up, right? Pressing into your hands, feet, legs. Come up to sit. Good. Find your seat. Just feeling the placement of your body, the alignment of your body, right? More the relationships and how it creates an ease in the breath. Palms together in front of the heart. And just aware of this, just shift in feeling from the beginning of class to the end. Just a sense of spaciousness in your breath, in your body, in your thoughts. And even how you'll move through this day with a little more ease. Right, elegantly, gracefully. And let's finish with one Om. Om.